Good morning and welcome to vlog number 11. I've been asked to have a bit of a conversation around the inner child that I keep referring to. So when I'm talking about inner child, it's that little you that was so impressionable when you first came into this world in a physical way. And they receive the patterns of behavior. Remember, I was speaking to you about generational stuff that gets passed down through our parents, through our grandparents, from our grandparents, and so on and so forth, way back. That little child attaches stories to everything that it experiences to make sense of it, so it can file it away in the mind, in that subconscious mind, because we literally need to split where things are filed, because we have so much information coming at us, specifically in this day and age with the internet and all the devices that are everywhere. If we didn't delete, distort, and generalize, we would literally have smoke coming out of our ears because there's too much stuff going on. So every single experience that we have, our beautiful little inner us, normally under 7 years of age, attaches a meaning to an experience. I'm going to give you an example so you can understand. I worked diligently with my little LuLu to work out what was my initial wound, and that's how I worked out it was rejection. At the tender age of 3, in my favorite pastel pink mini dress, I'd been playing outside in the garden with my bigger brother. Turned the hose on, and the hose hit the red dirt that was in our garden, and it splashed up all over me. And I thought this was just a travesty of fashion justice, to say the least. So I go racing inside seeking help from Mum, and here she was on the bed feeding my younger brother. And I'm like, Mum, this is just not acceptable. And she said, "Go away, Louise, can't you see I'm busy now with your brother?" So to make sense of that and not disattach from the person that was keeping me alive, I went, if I was a boy, she would pay attention to me. If I was a boy, she would love me more. And literally from that moment forward until I recognized it, I became a tomboy, because I believed that from the story that I'd created, if I was more like my brothers, I would get more love and affection and not feel rejected by my mum. I hope that makes sense. So from working with that and chunking down through my experiences, and I know people say, I can't remember back then, but when we ask our subconscious mind, which thinks and remembers 500,000 times faster than our conscious mind, brought up to me when I asked it the question, when did I have my first wound? I literally, as our gorgeous mind does, records in stories of pictures. I got the flash of me walking into that bedroom with my mum nursing my younger brother on her purple bedspread with the bay window, the whole lot. It was so clear to me. And that's when I realized it was the rejection wound. So I worked on how could I heal that. My beautiful mum had 3 children under the age of 3. How she didn't end up in one of those straight jackets that do up at the back is beyond me. However, I learned that she was loving me when she had her time space available, and from the model of love she'd observed as a child herself. Fast forward several decades, I had a big end of a marriage, and I hadn't seen or spoken to my mum for 5 years. Then she showed up at my door one day. Thanks very much, you're a beautiful sister-in-law of mine. We sat for hours and talked. And when I'd finished talking, after I'd asked her to not respond, but just to listen to my wound and how I'd seen my life through my eyes, She apologized. She apologized for comparing me to my elder brother. She apologized for not seeing me when I asked her twice to come and help me when I had a major health issue. She was very, very genuinely humble. And then I bothered to sit with her and ask her to tell me what her stories were that she'd recorded of her childhood. And I knew instantly that my mother learned rejection from her mother, who told her she didn't know where children came from. She was having her third child and her husband was away in the war in Papua New Guinea, and it was all just too hard. So Grandma told her she didn't want her. She could take nothing from that but rejection. So my mum was not only the perfect student, she was also the perfect teacher, because that's what her core wound was, and that's what she taught me, and I became the perfect student. So this is how the inner child passes down not only generational patterns, but shows us the gravel that we can go diamond mining for and pull out those diamonds and polish it and see it for what it actually was. What rejection taught me is to take nothing personally, because it really is not personal. It is just an offer that someone makes for you at the time. I hope that helps, and if you want to know more, please drop me a comment, send me a message on my other platforms that I share these to, and I would love to be able to help you work out what your first wound was and work with your inner child to rebuild that trust, because that's a must. We've been ignoring them for years and sometimes decades. We must rebuild trust with them for them to let go of that stronghold of wanting to control everything and have everything exactly the same, because they know the outcome, so that's safe, right? It is only safe when we, the present adult, is really consciously aware and in the present moment to observe what is going on. Have a wonderful day. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.